Hi there, Happy Hump Day. Welcome to the first Happy Hump Day for 2021. It's likely that by this time of the year you've already thought about goals, thought about the things that you want to achieve, and you're focused on progress. Progress. It's an interesting word because it's a word that for many people means moving forward. It's about achieving something. Progress can come in many shapes and sizes. We wouldn't normally think of progress as a time when something hasn't worked or when there's been a failure. And yet often progress involves lots of things not working, lots of failure. And you see that happen with scientists all the time because they're testing lots of hypotheses. Often the hypothesis can turn out to be wrong. But that's not failure. That's not having progress. Because in discovering that the hypothesis isn't valid, they've moved one step closer to where it is they wanted to get to. The challenge is that as humans, we're often conditioned to find that right answer. And we think sometimes it's just one right answer. We don't like finding out that we're wrong or that something hasn't worked. This is confirmation bias at play. And it was a term that was created back in the 1960s by Dr. Peter Watson, who was a cognitive psychologist from London's University College. And he conducted an experiment which helped to prove how this plays out. And so what he did was he got participants and he gave them a set of three numbers, 2, 4, and 8. He then asked them what they thought the rule was that set how those numbers followed each other. And to find the answer, or to help discover what the right answer was, the participants could suggest a sequence of numbers, and then the researcher would tell them whether that sequence was in the right order. The participants suggested sequences such as 8, 10, 16, 20, 22, 24. And on each occasion, the researcher advised that the sequence of numbers was correct. So based on this, most of the participants concluded that the rule was that the numbers needed to go up in even numbers. Turns out that wasn't the rule. The rule was just that the numbers had to go up. So in fact, the numbers could have been 1, 3, 7, 10, 200, 250. What Watson discovered through his research was that we as humans, we like to be right. And so we look for the right answer. And we're less likely to put forward an answer that we think will be wrong. So the participants weren't trying to find sequences because they already thought they knew what the answer was. They weren't putting forward sequences that they could get. Actually, no, that's not the right sequence. This experiment and others that he carried out showed that we are far more likely to search for information that confirms our beliefs. And consequently, we ignore or dismiss information that doesn't fit with our beliefs, our assumptions, expectations, or just how we view the world. The challenge is when we do this is we're narrowing our field of view. We're not expanding our field of view. We're not looking for the unexpected. We're going for what's obvious. So next time, when you're sitting back and something hasn't worked out for you, or you're trying to work out which way to go, or what the correct answer should be, perhaps what you also need to do is actually look for what the incorrect answer might be, or what those non-obvious sequences, patterns, or processes could be. And then see what learnings you can extract from that. Because it's when you look for the unknown, when you step outside what's familiar and what's obvious, that you might discover something that opens up a whole new world for you. And also, when something doesn't work out, when something hasn't gone the way that you would expect it, the great news is that's usually getting you one step closer to where it is you want to get to. Take care, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.